The Norse Apocalypse.
In Norse mythology, the end of the world comes with a storm of catastrophes and an epic final battle. Fimbulwinter, 3 long years of unrelenting winter, drives humanity to desperation. The sun and moon are suddenly snatched from the sky by a monstrous wolf. Darkness falls. The earth quakes so violently that even the world tree trembles, and the ancient bindings holding back chaos snap. Giants and demons, led by Loki, surge across the shattered rainbow bridge as the sky splits open. On the plains of Vigrid, gods and monsters clash fiercely. Odin, the Allfather, is swallowed whole by the gigantic wolf Fenrir. Thor manages to slay the world serpent Jormungandr, but staggers only a few steps before poison brings him down. Flames from the fire giant Surtur engulf the earth, turning the world into an inferno. It's Ragnarok, a cosmic doom where nearly every god and creature meets their fate. The ocean boils, the land sinks, and all is consumed in fire and flood. And yet, it's not truly the end. Out of the smoke and ash, the world quietly rises anew, green and reborn. A handful of young gods survive, and a human couple, Lif and Lifthrasir, emerge from their hiding place in the world tree's embrace. They gaze upon the dawn of a brand new world, proof that even after the darkest night, life finds a way to begin again.
The Hindu cycle of destruction.
Hindu mythology doesn't just imagine one end of the world, it imagines the world ending over and over in a grand cosmic cycle. According to Hindu thought, we live in the Kali Yuga, the dark age of greed and strife. As this age winds down, evil and chaos reach their peak. Lord Vishnu will return one last time as Kalki, a fierce warrior riding a white horse and wielding a blazing sword. In this apocalyptic climax, Kalki charges forth to wipe out the darkness, destroying the corrupt and wicked and ushering out the old era. The scriptures describe the oceans rising and the world drenched in flood as the universe enters a state of dissolution, the pralaya. Even time seems to pause as the destroyer Lord Shiva dances his cosmic tandava, a dance of furious energy that causes flames to consume the universe. All of creation collapses into the primordial waters of chaos. But the end in Hindu lore is never truly the end. After a cosmic night, Brahma the creator awakens and begins the cycle anew. A fresh world emerges from the waters, and a new golden age, the Satya Yuga, dawns. The end of the world in Hinduism is really a cleansing renewal, a dramatic reboot where existence is purified and life starts over on a higher plane, an eternal rhythm of endings leading to new beginnings.
The Greek Flood.
In Greek mythology, the gods once decided to end the world, or at least humanity's world, in a watery apocalypse. Offended by the wickedness and impiety of mankind, Zeus, king of the gods, hit the cosmic reset button. He unleashed a massive flood upon the earth, a deluge so great that it drowned everyone and everything in its path. The sea swallowed cities, rivers flowed over mountains, and the world was cleansed of humans in one fell swoop. Imagine the thunder and torrential rain as Zeus's wrath made the very oceans rise. Yet one small wooden ark bobbed on the endless waters. Inside were an honest man, Deucalion, the son of Prometheus, and his wife, Pyrrha, the only survivors, spared either by Zeus's mercy or by Prometheus's warning. For days and nights their tiny ark drifted, until the floods finally began to recede. When their boat came to rest on a mountaintop, Deucalion and Pyrrha found themselves alone in a silent, washed-clean world. Despair could have consumed them, but then came a strange and hopeful oracle. To repopulate the earth, cover your head, and throw the bones of your mother behind you. Interpreting mother to mean Mother Earth, they cast stones over their shoulders. Miraculously, the stones came alive. those thrown by Deucalion turning into men, and those by Pyrrha into women. Humanity was reborn from rock and divine grace. The Greek flood myth is both grim and hopeful. An entire corrupt generation swept away in a tsunami of godly judgment. Yet from a pair of survivors, a new human world springs forth, proving that even Zeus's fury couldn't snuff out mankind for good.
The Egyptian destruction.
Ancient Egypt's vision of the end times wasn't a final doomsday for the whole cosmos, but it does tell of a moment when humanity came within a hair's breadth of annihilation. In the tale known as the myth of the heavenly cow, humanity's own arrogance nearly causes our destruction. Long ago, the sun god Ra reigned as king over both gods and humans, until humans began to plot against him, foolishly thinking they could overthrow the divine. Enraged and betrayed, Ra decided to teach mankind a deadly lesson. He sent down his eye, the goddess Hathor, who transformed into Sekhmet, a fierce lioness avatar of vengeance. With fire in her eyes, Sekhmet went on a rampage. She slaughtered humans by the thousands, reveling in bloodlust, determined to erase the rebels completely. Villages turned silent under her onslaught. The Nile ran red. The end of humanity was at hand, and even Ra was horrified by the carnage, realizing his punishment had gone too far. To save what remained of humankind, Ra devised a clever trick. He ordered his priests to brew 7,000 jugs of beer and dye it red with pomegranate and ochre so it looked like fresh blood. Under cover of night, they poured this crimson beer across the fields where Sekhmet was expected to continue her killing spree. At dawn, Sekhmet arrived, eager to continue the slaughter, but instead she found lakes of what seemed to be blood. The lioness goddess gleefully drank gulp after gulp. The potent beer worked its magic. Sekhmet became completely drunk and passed out cold, her bloodlust quenched. Humanity was saved by a beer hangover. When Sekhmet awoke, her rage had subsided. Ashamed, and probably nursing a mighty headache, she did not resume the massacre. From that day on, Ra withdrew from directly ruling the earth, but people lived on. The Egyptian myth turns an apocalypse into a narrow escape with a darkly humorous twist. The world almost ended in blood, but was saved by beer.
The Mayan and Aztec cycle.
In Mesoamerican mythology, time itself moves in cycles of creation and destruction. The Maya and Aztec peoples believed the world had ended multiple times before, and will end again. Rather than one apocalypse, there have been many. According to Aztec legend, drawn from earlier Mayan ideas, we live in the fifth sun, the fifth era of the world. The 4 prior worlds were each destroyed in turn, each by a different cataclysm. The stories are vivid and fantastical. In the first sun, giants roamed the earth until the gods sent jaguars to tear them all apart, devouring that world's humans entirely. The second sun ended when massive hurricanes struck. The winds of the god Quetzalcoatl blew so fiercely that they swept away civilization. It's said those who survived that storm were transformed into monkeys, left to live in the forests. The third sun was destroyed by rain of fire. Volcanoes and fiery storms ravaged the land, and the people who didn't burn were turned into turkeys and dogs, scattered and humbled. The fourth sun perished in a colossal flood, drowning everyone. A deluge not unlike the floods of other cultures, except in this version, the few survivors floated up to become fish. Each time humanity was wiped out, the gods would start the world over with a new sun. Now, we reside in the era of the fifth sun. But this era, too, has a prophesied end. The Aztecs warned that this current world will end in earthquakes, violent quakings that collapse mountains and swallow cities. They even feared sky monsters would descend to eat the people at the end of days. Knowing they lived on borrowed time, the Aztecs took their apocalypse seriously. They offered regular blood sacrifices to nourish the sun, hoping to postpone the end as long as possible. Meanwhile, the Maya had a grand calendar tracking vast cycles of time. You might remember the 2012 phenomenon, when modern folks panicked thinking the Maya predicted the world would end on December 21st, 2012. In truth, the Maya saw that date as simply the end of one great cycle and the start of another, a cosmic New Year's Day, not a fiery doomsday. Mayan myths do speak of earlier creations destroyed by the gods. For example, an early race of wooden people wiped away by a flood for their failings. But the Maya, like the Aztecs, believed in renewal. For them, an end was never final, only the prelude to rebirth.
The Zoroastrian final battle.
One of the world's oldest religions, Zoroastrianism, born in ancient Persia, offers a dramatic vision of the end of time. Not as random catastrophe, but as the ultimate triumph of good over evil. The Zoroastrian apocalypse is less a destruction than a purification. It begins with society falling into chaos and wickedness, a time when evil forces, led by Angra Mainyu, the hostile spirit, seem to have the upper hand. But at the darkest hour, a savior figure named Saoshyant will arise. Saoshyant, the final prophet, gathers the righteous and leads the charge against evil. The dead are resurrected from their graves, and everyone, good and wicked alike, stands for the last judgment. What follows is literally a trial by fire. The fire god and angel of justice melt the metal in all the mountains, and this molten metal flows across the earth like a river. Every person must wade through this boiling flood. For the pure of heart, the fiery metal feels like warm milk on their skin, gentle and healing. But for the sinful, it brings searing pain as they are burned clean of their wrongs. As this river of fire pours down through the world, it engulfs all evil, burning away lies, cruelty, and darkness itself. The devilish Angra Mainyu and his demons are completely annihilated by the heat, erased from existence. In the end, the world is remade to its originally perfect state. A renewed paradise, all creatures immortal, no one hungry, no one ill, and even the shadows disappear as humanity becomes enlightened and united.
Fact me, Papi.